Okay, rock it up. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarita, if you've never been here before. Today, I created this springtime, sunflowery, you know, kind of ratchet with the earrings type look to recreate for you guys today. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, to start off, we're gonna moisturize our skin, and I'm gonna go in with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream Moisturizer. Just take that, make some dots all over my face. Rub it in, make sure that you're using clean hands. I'll be wiping a bunch of dirt all over our face. Okay, so while that is setting into our skin, I'm going to go in and do brows and prime my eyes. So for brows, I'm going to go in with Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Dark Brown. So I'm just going to comb out my brows, make sure everything is nice and just tame, I guess. And after I've applied a little bit onto my brush, I'm going to go in right here, sort of next to the arch of my brow. I'm just going to make one big stroke all the way to the tail, just like that. Then I'm going to fill in the top of my tail. I like to create elongated tails on my brows because I don't have a whole lot of brow on the end. I don't know why, it's just the way that they are. And so without re-dipping my brush into the product, I'm just kind of outlining where my brows already are, since I have like nice full brows already, and I'm just going to distribute that product everywhere. And then using the very tip of my brush, I'm just going to, oh, if my hand will stop shaking, make little hair-like strokes going upwards in the direction of the hair to fill in the front. Because what you don't want is like a subtraction sign eyebrow, you know, where it's like there's just a little block, like a little block of cheese, you know, or something. I want that to be very well blended. So then I'm going to go back in with my spoolie and just kind of help distribute that everywhere. So now to prime my lids, I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Medium. Looks just like this. And I'm going to put a little bit onto the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills 20 brush. It looks just like this, spoolie on one side. I use this for my brows, and then it's kind of like a flat shader on the other side. I'm going to use this to define underneath my brows and just prime my whole lid. So I like to go in and just kind of work my way, start in the middle and work my way up. Then I'm just going to basically drag this right underneath the brow to clean up those lines. Yeah, this step isn't necessary if you feel like your brows came out exactly how you wanted them to. You don't have to do this. So just going in and blending this in with my finger tip. Okay, so now that that's nice and evenly distributed, I'm going to go in with my Airspun Loose Face Powder. Thank you, Walmart. Oh, I guess they have this at Target too. And this is naturally neutral, and I'm going to use this to set my eyes. And I also use this to set my under eye too after concealer. Tap that on there like this. I'm going all the way up and getting as close to that brow as you can. Now those are nice and set, so we're going to go in and do our eyeshadow. So in honor of spring, we're gonna do kind of like a orangey yellow, ombre, sunflowery type look. So the first shade we're going to use is from Morphe 35B palette, and it's a bright yellow shade. It looks just like this. Okay, and then we're going to take that on a Morphe E27 brush, just a big fluffy brush. Dip right into that shade. Tap off the excess. I like to, wherever you start is where it's going to be the most pigmented. So I like to start right here on the outer corner. Just doing like little small circular motions. Kind of trying to figure out exactly what the hell you're doing. I just want to tell you guys that filming videos is somewhat challenging for me. And trying to not make them super long, because I'm just naturally a very slow talker and someone who pauses a lot in between their sentences and their words. And, you know, people don't want to watch that. People just want you to spit it out, you know? I'm going to go in with my... I'm going to take my Vintage Company, I just can't talk. I'm going to take this fluffy angled brush that I got in my BoxyCharm by the Vintage Cosmetic Company, and this orangey shade from that same palette, it's just a few shades over this orangey shade right here, and I'm going to apply that into my crease as well. I want it to be vibrant and pretty. And I don't want it to look like poop. What? Why? Hello, you're not welcome here. The next shade we're going to use is from the Festival by Juvia's palette. Looks just like this. And we're just going to use this really bright orangey shade called Ofala. Hopefully I said that right. I don't know how I like this, but I feel like it's what I think about most things, and then it ends up being okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same on the other eye, and then we'll be moving on. Do you guys ever feel like there's one eye that you'll just slay every time, and the other one just be like, just struggling? Okay, so now we're going to move on to face. For primer, I'm going to use the NYX Honey Dew Primer. It looks just like this. I've just recently started using this, and I really like it. I don't like the applicator, this little paddle thing. I feel like I just don't like it very much. Just get freaking crazy with it, but not too crazy. And to work that in, I'm going to use my Morphe R68 brush. Looks just like this. I got out of the habit of rubbing in primer with my hands, unless it's like a silicone primer or something that's supposed to help disguise pores, because those need to be warmed up. They work better when they're worked in with your fingers. But something like this, you could definitely use a brush. So once you have that nice and worked in, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting today. So just to disguise this monster I have growing on my right cheek, I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Camo Crayon Corrector in the shade Green for redness. I'm just going to put that right on there. and then any other red spots that I see lingering anywhere on my face. Then I'm going to go in with the same Maybelline Camo Master Camo Color Corrector, but in the shade orange this time. And this is really good for dark spots or dark circles. So I'm just going to apply a little bit right here underneath my eyes. And I like to use that primer when you're going to go in with lots of products because it makes your skin nice and really moisturized so that you don't look cakey when you're really layering on your products. I'm going to take my finger and go ahead and blend those in. Now that we look crazy, I'm going to go ahead and apply foundation. The foundation I'll be using today is Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. Looks just like this. And I'm going to apply it with my Real Technique sponge. I just put a few pumps on the back of my hand. Dot it all over my face. And then I'm just going to work that in. You can still see him. It's a he, because he's a monster. It's okay, we don't fix it. Next, we're going to be using NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Tiramisu, medium 1.75 for concealer. And I just like to start here, get really close to the edge of my nose, bring it down, make a little swoopy action, you know, like this, and then just kind of bring it out like that. A little bit on the sides of my mouth, my chin, my nose. Okay, so we had a slight camera malfunction, so I planned on filming this whole look for you guys, but some parts were missed, so I went ahead and applied lashes, did my lower lash line, and bronzer. Now I'm going to go in with blush. For blush today, I'm going to use Too Faced blush. It's the Love Flush, and it's in the shade Baby Love. Looks just like this. I'm going to take my crown brush, and it doesn't have a number on it. It looks just like this. Dip into that shade and hit the apples of my cheeks. And the lashes that I'm wearing are Kiss lashes, and they're the new, I want to say Lash Couture or something, but the style is called Midnight. And I like to apply a little bit over my nose, onto the temples of my forehead, just a little bit, whatever's left over on the brush. And I actually forgot to contour my nose. So I just take my contour brush, I do it real simple, and just literally rub whatever excess product is on the brush and apply it that way. I know some people have to be a little bit more precise, but I have such a strong bridge in my nose that I'm able to just slap it on like this. Don't be mad at me, be mad at the Lord. For highlight, we're going to go in with Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter in the shade Trophy Wife. Does anybody else have trouble getting theirs open? The first time I opened it, you can even see it. I dug my nail into it. I shed actual real life tears. So I'm just going to take that on a split brush a little bit and pop that right into the inner corner. And I just have a feeling that it's going to give me all life per usual. Beautiful. Just, how could I ever go wrong? You guys can see I got a little bit of mascara right there. I'm deciding whether I want to try to get it off or not. I put in so much work on these eyes that it might just hang out there all day. Nobody is the boss of me, so if I want to leave it there, I will. So I'm going to take that same highlight and a fan brush, just dip into there and hit the highlights of my cheeks. The highlights, the high points, highlight for high points. I'm taking that bullet brush again, hitting the tip of my nose, and just a little bit. I don't go all the way down on the bridge. I just hit this section right here. Whatever's left over, I'm going to use underneath my brow bone. Like this. To line the lips, I'm going to use Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in the shade Bare to Commit. And this is drugstore. It's literally the cheapest thing ever. For lipstick, I'm going to go in with Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Poet. It's actually not as light as it looks, as the container looks. It's just a little bit darker. I'm going to place that right in the middle. I dry ass lips, but it's fine. Already too deep in this now to start over, right? Do you ever just look at your animal and just be like, I love you so much. And then right in the middle, I'm going to go in with Too Faced Fairy Tears Lip Topper just to give it a little shine. And literally just right in the middle. I'm just going to kind of tap that. Last but not least, setting spray and yet another product by Too Faced. I should be endorsed by them, honestly. The Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 setting prime, and yeah, just those two. I don't know where the other third one comes in, but we're gonna use that spray. Twerk till you get enough. Show me your mama made a hoe. Who would ever want to do that? Ooh, I'm gonna spray this. So I got the new Too Faced Festival Refresh setting spray, and it's supposed to have mystical reflex in there, you know, make your face all fucking sparkly and shit. So spray some of that too. God, this shit's, I want to eat it. It smells like cotton candy or some kind of candy. It smells really fucking good. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and thanks for watching.